Hey, it's Mike with Signature Custom Wraps and Coatings, and today we are going to do an install on some caliper covers on a Tesla Model 3 from EVANNEX. So we're going to go through the contents of our box for our Tesla Model 3 EVANNEX caliper covers. So first thing we have are the front caliper covers. The front ones have the notch in them. Second caliper cover is going to be another front one. The back caliper covers are going to be the full solid caliper with no notch. And we're going to have a second one. Rear caliper covers. We're going to have two sets of brackets. We're going to have our fronts. There's going to be 4 of them. And we're going to have our backs. And there's going to be 4 of them. There are instructions inside. So we have 2 fronts, 2 backs, 4 brackets, 4 brackets. Now that we have our wheel off, we're going to just clean this up real quick, and then we're going to set these up to put the front caliper covers on. We have our caliper covers and our brackets. So we have our front caliper cover that's going to have the small notch in it. That's going to go on. We have our 2 brackets. They're exactly the same, and they're labeled fronts in the bag. And we have our 3/8 to tighten everything down. So top bracket's pretty simple. It's going to go in the center of the caliper. It's going to just slide down. It's going to sit flush on top, angle in. Same thing for the bottom one. It's going to slide right up and in. It's going to sit in the middle. We're going to loosen up the bolts as much as we possibly can. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide this in and up. Pretty simple there. And we're going to slide this one up also. So once we have the caliper cover on with the brackets and we tighten the bolts, make sure you have enough gap in here between the rotor and the bracket. Same thing on the bottom. So we're going to take our 3/8 and we are going to tighten it to approximately 25 pounds. And there's your front caliper cover. So now that we got our tire on, we're just going to double check all the clearances on everything inside on our wheel, and we're all set. So we're going to move to the back. We got the wheel off. We're going to clean the caliper. The caliper's all cleaned, make sure everything was all right. So we're going to double check our hardware. So we're going to have 2 rear brackets that are going to go on. So before we put these on, we're going to take the nuts off. We put them somewhere safe. All 4 brackets are all the same for the backs. All right, so we're going to have those 2. And then we're going to have the rear caliper cover that doesn't have the slot like the fronts did. So it's just the larger piece. All right. So step 1 on this, these are a little bit more challenging. takes a little bit more force than the fronts, but what we're gonna end up doing is taking this bracket and we're gonna put it around this piece. It's gonna be tough. This is gonna stick on there pretty hard. So we're gonna start with putting it in the back, and then we're gonna slide it down. Just like that, all right? Now, you're gonna adjust these in and out once you get the caliper cover on, so it doesn't sit out too far and there's any rubbing. So once this is on, we'll be able to slide it back on that. So same thing on the bottom. So this little hook here is gonna go underneath, and then this is gonna be on this side. All right, so we have those two in place. So we're gonna start with the bottom in the hole. We're gonna bring this up, and then this is gonna just lift up onto there. Now, this is where you're gonna be able to, I kind of have these set pretty good on the first try. So this is nice and tight, nice and snug. You're gonna check your space again by your rotor. There's plenty of space here. There's plenty of space there, but just double check it. So that's on. We're gonna take our nuts again. Take our 3/8. We're gonna tighten them up about 25 pounds, but don't do too much because you don't want them to pull the stud through. And there's your rear caliper cover for your Tesla Model 3. So now we're going to put the back one on. We got the rear caliper cover completely installed, and time to put the wheel back on. So once we got the wheel back on, we're just going to double check the clearance on the top and the bottom. Everything looks good, and you're all set.